Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Southeast Regional Championship online, presented entirely online. We have 8 incredible artists, all winners from Florida, Georgia, and one from Ohio as well. And they are in their studios recording themselves painting these beautiful works for us to vote on tonight. And we will be seeing them very soon. So we've got round 1 and round 2 here tonight, and the top 2 artists from each round will move on to a third and final round to be presented next week. This qualifying event is to figure out who will be representing this region in the U.S. National Championships in person April 2nd in Wichita Falls, Texas. My name is Morgan Booth, and I'm here with Simon Plaschkes, Art Battle co-founder.
Hey, Morgan. Excited to be here. Holy smokes, our only online qualifier. It's great. We've got tons of people registered to vote, and I know the artists are watching from home, so that's really exciting too.
Oh, man. So I know that some people on our team have been able to check things out, but I can't wait. I'm so excited to see all of these beautiful paintings tonight.
It's going to be fantastic. So, of course, this is all leading up to the 2022 U.S. Championship of Art Battle. It's in Wichita Falls. It's on April the 2nd, Saturday, April the 2nd. It's in a massive, incredible venue called the MPEC. I think that stands for the Multi-Purpose Event Center. And we would love for you to be there live in person with us. Come on down, fly into Dallas, drive up to Wichita Falls. It's going to be just an incredible show. And if you're watching us online, we would be thrilled to see you there. If you cannot make the journey, no problem. We're going to be broadcasting just as we are now, live on artbattle.com. And you'll be able to see the whole thing and vote and do all of those things that you love, including bid to, purchase, collect those paintings, just as you can do here tonight. I think is it too much to, well, let's say this. If you want to vote, if you have somehow come through this and you're watching this and a friend has shared it or whatever, and you want to get your vote in, you do that via text message so that we can be sure that it's one person, one vote. You can go to artbattle.com/vote and throw in your name and phone number, and we will send you a text message and you can vote. On that link, you can also bid, and we will work with these artists to ship the paintings from the artists directly to you. So don't hesitate to bid. There's only a small shipping fees, $50 for national shipping. So don't hesitate to bid on these incredible paintings. We'd love to send them home. I think we're ready to go, Morgan. Morgan, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go for round 1 of the Art Battle tonight.
Oh, I am super ready to go. Are you kidding? I can't wait.
Okay, well, let's do it. We're off. If you want to chat with us, there's some folks, some artists and folks from our team chatting on our Discord. And you can get over there by going to artbattle.com/Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically an app for chatting. If you do know where Discord is, I'm sure you'll want to join us. So head over to artbattle.com Discord. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to let Morgan do the intro. We're going to click and we are going to have the round 1 right here, ready to go.
So round number 1 is going to be 4 incredible artists. Jair, Victoria Mayol.
We're rolling. Tell me when to hit the timer.
Okay, here we go. This is so cool. I love seeing it this way.
Yeah, me too. I love getting a little bit of insight into the artist studios.
Here I am.
Oh, Joan. Joan is such a fantastic artist. We saw her in, she's a Florida artist, and she's from Sarasota, and a real champion, a real winner. I'm very excited to see her on there.
Oh, yeah. When she painted, when she got into Art Battle, she won 2 events in a row, or was a finalist in 2 events in a row in a single month. So she,
fantastic.
She did not come to play.
I'm glad that she's joined us here tonight, and I wish Joan and all the artists the best of luck in the voting tonight, and hope one of them, maybe even Joan, will make the trip with us to Texas. What has she got there? That's obviously we're seeing a figure come in here. Oh, we're on to Jair.
Ooh, I love this wash technique happening already. This is
very cool.
Interesting to me because Jair, who is one of our winners from Atlanta tonight, usually is doing realist painting, so this is more abstract than I was expecting him to start with. But again, we're only 90 seconds in, so it really could go anywhere.
Yes. Absolutely.
And here we are with Brittany Cosgrove. She is she won an event in Phoenix, but moved to Ohio, and we just couldn't resist including her in this championship because as a winner, she's got to represent, and now she qualifies to be in this region.
Yeah, that's a promise that we make to the artists. If you win, you move on. Morgan, I'm too loud. Could you turn me down a little? Great. Yeah, if you are... If you're a competitor at Art Battle, you are absolutely, we want you to win, and it's all by audience voting. And if you do win, we will make sure that you're invited to another show.
I'm digging Brittany's technique so far. Okay, and Victoria Gomez Mayol. So Victoria was a winner in Sarasota and Ormond Beach. So she's a double qualified.
Ormond Beach, that's multi-coastal. She's in from both sides of Florida there.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And so she's got a toned brown for her canvas already, and is working in a dry media now, doing a little bit of drawing. Looks like she's got maybe some oil pastel there. And here we are back with Joan, and we're getting. I thought that this was going to be entirely figure-based, but now we're getting this figure transforming into, or being in an environment.
Yes, well, I thought that might have been a sailboat, but no, it feels more mysterious, mystical, other land, the crystal castle in the distance. That's cool.
Yeah, and almost like maybe a mermaid gesture in the body placement there. And here we are back with Jair.
I like this wet style. It's very risky, because you can't control those drips. Those drips have the mind of their own. Look at that drip down there. But it's great. If they could pull it off, it is a very powerful effect. This is almost a bit of a watercolor. Are we on watercolor paper here, do you think?
I think from the curve at the top that this is still canvas. So I'm betting that this is watered down acrylic.
Great.
But I got some beautiful
that's good because it's
brushes in there.
Yeah. The canvases at the final round of the art in the national championships are canvases, so it's good to practice on that.
Oh, and we're getting some gorgeous sunflowers from Brittany.
Oh, fantastic.
Little Van Gogh action there.
It hasn't quite gone political yet. We'll see what happens. Oh, a little jump around there. Look at these characters.
So 5 minutes in, and just a quick reminder to everybody that because this is an entirely online championship, it is more important than ever to go to artbattle.com/vote, because your vote will determine the top 2 artists from each qualifying round tonight, and they will be then again painting in the third and final round, which will take place next Wednesday.
Which will essentially be the pre-show for the art battle in San Francisco, the San Francisco City Finals, which is also a regional championship, including artists from Oakland and a couple of other spots in Northern California. And this will be the pre-show for that next week. So, look at this, all on one screen.
Oh, I love seeing it this way. We get a really great ability to contrast who's doing what.
Oh, I love Victoria Gomez Mayol's piece over there. The line work is really, it's so sharp, and it has a beautiful contrast with that initial background that she's put.
Yeah, I love the softness of that blush color, and then we have the figure almost in this languid posture, just really relaxed body language, being kind of contrasted with those sharp brush strokes. And then Jair has super softness going on, and I think that I'm seeing the figure emerging here, and maybe the figure is tossing their hair, their beautiful multicolored hair.
Yeah. There's a real sense of movement there for sure.
And we're also seeing two hands placed on that figure's chest, and hands at that size, that's a huge challenge. So we'll have to see how Jair handles that.
Yeah. If they pull that off, that's a real coup, because as you say, those tiny precise hands are a real challenge. That's an advanced level artist move.
And we can see Brittany now is starting to work into a profile, which I did not expect. I really thought that this was going to be an entirely floral piece, but seeing her throwing the profile in here is a really beautiful addition. Really enjoying that. And back with Joan now.
Joan is her pacing is really good. You know, we're 7 minutes in, so there's a good bit of work there, but I think that she's pacing herself well. I think we're going to see that come along at a nice clip.
Yeah, I like the red of this figure. I really am enjoying how stark this is at this point, and I'm sure that with how well she's managing her time that we're going to get that canvas filled up a lot more, but I am actually really just enjoying the shapes of it right now. Gotta love seeing the work at all of these different stages as they emerge. They're each kind of their own painting at each stage, and then it becomes the next painting and the next painting until it's finished.
Yes. Fantastic.
And back with Brittany. And a profile can be a really difficult one to execute as well.
Yeah, it's tricky to not have it feel sort of cartoony, to still, you want it to be profile, but still feel the depth to it. And that has a lot to do with the shading of both the primary figure, but also how it interplays with the background.
Absolutely, because that's a great point. The way that you create the contrast between the background and that profile of the face, that's how you're cutting that out. And if you're doing it in a heavy way, you're leaning more towards the illustrative. If you start to recede those edges a little bit, maybe you're bringing it more into realism. I'm not sure which Brittany's going to pick. I know that her work is usually really bold and focuses a lot on details. Oh wow, this kind of periwinkle blue from Victoria Mayol is just gorgeous.
Love it. We have a running joke / non-joke at Art Battle about different clubs for different colors, and the club for the blue people is the bluists. So for the voting block that is the bluest, they're going to be thrilled. And also with Joan's pieces, you see here some nice different blues.
Yeah, and we're really getting a beautiful sense of movement from this figure. Even though it's sitting, we're getting just this slight lean forward, almost expressing kind of a curiosity.
Oh yes, look at that. And it's really come into its own. Clearly the figure is gazing off in the distance at, the building or whatever it is that we're seeing on the left side there, just with the way the head and the hair is now. That's really something.
Yeah, it's a really, quite the capture of a bit of a contemplative moment. Really strong presence for this figure here, even though there's so much negative space left. And I do think that we're going to get a lot more out of this painting in terms of how Joan expands into that negative space. But I have to say, this figure stands alone as its own thing already.
Whoa, Jair's painting is 2 paintings. Okay, there we go. This is nice. I like the it's not usually my favorite palette, but I think it's this sort of the palette's really working, and I like the way it transitions sort of from left to right, with the hair on the different sides, and there's a nice little zoom of that to illustrate. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and the gestural quality is really cool as well. We're getting this sense of movement, and the way that it's executed with these kind of quick swooping strokes really allows us to get that sense of movement.
And the detail on the face is surprisingly compelling. I mean, that's a fairly thick brush to be working in at that level, but it comes through. Obviously, it's sort of a bit of an abstracted impressionistic style, but it does really come through.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we are back with Brittany.
Brittany's got a fan with her there. I like that. Nice.
I love that she's filming herself doing this piece, and she's also got the second cam going. For her friend.
Well, we asked her to do that. So. But anyway, that's really great.
And I like the floral that's coming from behind, and that's curving.
That flower on the right is solid. Oh, I see the one you mean. Yeah, well, that's the depth we were talking about. So that kind of brings it off. It brings it off the canvas a bit because there's obviously a flower behind the figure. So it's really helping us get through.
Wow, Victoria is my kind of painter. I love these beautiful kind of short strokes that are unmixed, that are just allowing your eye to absorb all of these colors on their own and then interpret them throughout the figure. There's so much softness here, even though these brush strokes are not blended.
Right. The brush strokes are very distinct themselves, but the overall impression is, there's like a wispiness to it. But yet, if you look at any particular element, it's quite sharp. The initial line work. What I'm really liking is the shading, how it's coming in here. You see it most in the, the dress or whatever she's wearing there. And it's really, really good shading to indicate, depth, really.
Yeah, Victoria she just has such a huge talent for getting the appropriate tone. I think so often anyone in the arts, there's so much concern with color, but also the tone of that color and how light or dark it can be just as effective as a communicator, and Victoria really specializes in that. We like that purple at the bottom too. I'm like, don't pay attention to the color, but the purple. I can't help myself.
And she still has, 6 minutes and change left. So there's a lot of opportunity here. I'm very curious to see how the rest of the face is going to come through, and the eyes, of course, such a challenge as the hands and the eyes.
I hope they stay a little bit abstract. I love the subtlety that she's got going on right now.
Yeah, well, the choice is either leave them abstract or do an absolutely killer job of them.
Yeah, there's no in between.
We'll see what happens.
There really is no in between.
Joan's technique here has been fantastic. That figure was in that shape from the very beginning. I'm not nearly as accomplished a painter as Joan is, but I would always have created the object that the figure was sitting on first, just to make sure to get the proportions right. But it's such an incredible approach to have done, sort of the legs and the back and the bottom of the figure as the first thing that we saw, and only then adding in these pieces later. It's a fantastic painting.
Yeah, the progression of it has been really interesting, seeing each element that she's placing at what time. And here we are back with Jair, and this figure just clutching at her chest, and this kind of green glow emanating. A really loud palette, but almost a peaceful figure.
I think the hands did work The
Yeah,
only
they
thing I
really
would say
did.
is that
How is he
they
getting
really
those
did.
hands with big breath?
It's kind of impressive. The line work, I would only point out that the line work between the hands and the face is a little inconsistent so far. But I don't know. Anyway, I see what's going on here. It's the dress, some article of clothing. Anyway, it's great. And that hand really, we were worried about that, but that really did come through.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and we've got some fauna joining our florals here with Brittany. And it looks like she's just carefully adding some texture into the center of that sunflower there. And
You said fauna, and I was looking around. I was like, "Where is the little animal?" It's flora and flora, yeah. But it's great. It's a garden, garden masterpiece. Actually, this looks to me like one of those like brooches, those portrait relief brooches. And especially as these additional textured elements come in, it's kind of interesting rather than it being like an attempt at a true replica of this figure. It's more symbolic and representational of the figure. And I dig that.
Yeah, me too. I love that kind of, it's almost Victorian in kind of its expression. And
exactly.
I'm enjoying the way that the flora, the flora and flora, are expanding, throughout the composition to kind of bring it into balance.
Oh my God! Look at this painting.
I know.
The different colored background on the left and the right is so doing it for me. It's fantastic.
Oh man, and
it makes this figure just pop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really mature piece.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That piece is very, very realized for being a 20-minute piece.
Which is good because, we've now got under 2 minutes remaining. We'll remind everyone that you can vote. The voting is open. You're invited to vote now. You can also vote at any time. We will announce the 2 winners of these 2 rounds that we're doing together right at the end of the show, which is going to be a quick show tonight. No break. We're going to say a couple of funny things and then jump on to the next round. Anyway, Jair's painting here with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Oh my gosh. I disabled that video on accident. No, we're gonna, don't worry, everybody. We're good. Okay. Where were we here?
We got 90
thank
seconds
God,
left on the
magic.
clock.
90 seconds left. We're gonna go to Jair. There we go.
And these the highlights that have been added in here have just made this jump forward so effectively.
Yes.
It's really brought it from being more illustrative to just having a lot of presence.
Mm-hmm. The shading on the bottom left there. Yeah, it also pops off the page like a lot of these paintings tonight, except for this one. Wow, it's great. I appreciate the contrast of sort of the, the flatness of it. And I mean that in the best possible way. Very, very neat.
Yeah, it's like hearkening back to kind of an Art Nouveau.
Uh-huh.
Little.
This is a nice t-shirt here.
Action.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I like the little bluebells as well.
20 seconds remaining.
Oh, we got stripes from Victoria. Cool.
Wow.
Cool.
That's something. And in 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brushes down.
All right, and let's do a little tour here. Oh, look at these. These are all fantastic pieces. You, as the voting audience, are going to have a tough time here, but we encourage you to do, to vote, to get out there, to do just that.
At artbattle.com/vote is where you can register to vote, and you can also bid to take these works home. If you are falling in love with them, just as much as we were while we were watching them, you can also bid to support these artists, and we will ship the work to you. Although you might have to fight me for Victoria's piece.
Fantastic. Okay, great. Well, let's we're going to check in on the voting just a little bit and make sure that all the various tech is working right. Oh, it's nice to see the chats on the Facebook there. Hello, Dawn, Jennifer, Tanya. This is great. This is really a lot of fun. But I think that on the internet these days, people have super short attention spans. So we should probably just get right into round two, I guess. Right, Morgan?
I'm into it. But
Okay.
again, don't be forgetting to vote for the artists in round one. The top two artists that you just watched will go on to the third and final round, which will be presented next Wednesday. And the winner of that will go on to the national championship.
Truly very exciting. It is a fantastic time in live art. We love championship season. We also have events coming up on, so many events. Next Wednesday, San Francisco, right after the continuation of this show. And then a double header on Thursday, first in New York City for the New York City Championships, and then the LA City Championships immediately following that because of the time zones. And then on Friday in Chicago. So it's a hell of a time to be enjoying live painting, and we will certainly let you know and remind you to come check in. So, Morgan, anything to say about the before we start for the artists in round two?
Just that I'm stoked for the next crop of artists. We've got 4 artists from Sarasota, Fort Lauderdale, and Atlanta. 2 from
Okay.
Sarasota.
Well, here we go. Coming in right now. The Online Southeast Regional Championship Part 1, Round 2.
Hey everybody,
Woo.
Brittany Grant painting for Art Battle Southeast Regional Championships. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I've seen a lot of change.
All right,
been through a lot
Donice
of
here,
things.
starting us off 20 minutes.
Things are
I
not
love
the
being in the
same
studio here.
as they
I wish we
were
could have got
a
a little
year
hand at that
ago.
studio. I'll have to ask for it next time.
Oh man, I love
Kaytee Esser.
sneak peeking everybody's studio.
Yeah, take a look in the background there. Kaytee, a regular and a multi-event champion in Sarasota.
And Martin Karadzhov, who is our winner from Fort Lauderdale. And then
Great, and Brianne Grant already off to a huge start with this bluest loving background.
that's so funny. In my notes about her, I've got blue swirls are in my notes after looking at her work.
Amazing. Look at this. So we see Donice there working from a reference, which is always fun because you sort of know where it's going, which is pretty cool. And I think Martin might be in the same situation. We'll have to see as it pans around a little.
Yeah, very specific and careful drawing from Martin to start it off there. Very, very tight drawing style. So I'm really interested to see the way that the paint will interplay with this drawing.
Yes.
And then we've got
I really like what Donice has got going on over there. We need to zoom out just a little, but I love those fat painterly brush strokes. It's really, it makes it feel like a painting. And those big fast brush strokes, I mean, obviously it has to come together and it has to mean something in the end. But I think that if I had to guess, I think we're going to see that from Donice there.
Yeah, and they've got their reference going as well, which I always really enjoy seeing the contrast between like a photographic image and how it translates onto the canvas, because you can kind of see at that point in real time how that artist's mind is working from how that translation is happening in real time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like speaking both languages of a book. Then you read the original one and then you're seeing the final, but here it's so visual that you don't have to do all that work of reading 2 books.
Oh, or even to get even more poetic, it would be like, it's the difference between reading a song and hearing a song.
Well, there you go.
That's my moment for the night, guys.
I like what Katie's up to over here. Again, a great palette. The blue is sketching, and it feels very geometric, which is really neat. Here we are in Donice's studio.
Yeah,
very accurate reproduction. Very, very accurate reproduction. I think we're going to see here. I mean, you see him jumping back and forth, and I think that it's going to be bang on. This is a reference that is truly being used, not just sort of an inspiration.
And here we are back with Kaytee, our Sarasota and Venice finalist. And one thing, so I've seen Kaytee paint a few times. We were lucky enough to have her in some online events in early 2020. And I love the way that she uses her flat square brushes to kind of chip in these areas of color. And they're in a sharp expression. And the way that she kind of knits all of those together as the painting goes on is just thrilling for me.
Look at this. What tool are we seeing here? Is this a marker or?
I think we're going Sharpie.
Sharp, but some sort of this is really something. This is some very fast progress. We're only 4 minutes in. This is a fully developed piece here.
And back.
Here we have the classic Florida underwater scene situation. Again, the bluists are going to be happy.
Getting our friendly little Nemo there.
Yes. If you're watching and commenting, I see a lot of people commenting on Facebook. There's some action on YouTube and Discord as well. But let us know what you think, and what color club are you in? Are you a warm color person? Who do you rally around in terms of your favorite colors? We'd love to hear. Oh, this is so great. With that hair being expressed so, brushily.
Yeah, this explosion of energy and these super expressive strokes. And just, I love the way that they're fading off a little bit around the edges. Wow, just really establishing such a great shape for the hair of this figure, and really
heavy energy. Really good.
Great job in terms of translating the energy to the canvas, but also in a performance aspect, which I think can't be easy for these artists being isolated in their studios and doing the online championship. They lose out maybe a little bit on some of the performance aspect, but I think that we're seeing some really great techniques happening, and for Donice, for me, that was a performance aspect.
Fantastic. I love what Kaytee's up to here. I didn't realize until this cut that it was a portrait, but I love the sharp geometric shape of that character. It really, you feel the personality of that character coming through.
Oh, this is sick. This is sick. No one expected.
With the roller. No, I sure didn't. With the roller there. What's so beautiful about that is obviously it's thin enough, watered down, whatever it is, enough that it comes through. But look at this clearing off, bringing some white space. Very good technique. Very good technique. Again, what you're talking about there, Morgan, with the performance, at the live shows is so important. And this is the kind of thing that's sort of a bit of a reveal, one of these scrape off techniques, but that's a new one. I don't think we've seen
Martin
that exact approach.
It.
Yeah.
And it's
great job.
Interesting too, because checking out Martin's studio work in his application, it was very, very realist focused and a lot of more neutral tones. And so to be getting this expression out of him is a big surprise, but I'm really, really digging it.
Fantastic. 7 minutes, 23 seconds in. There they are. 4 artists. This is round 2. If you're just tuning in, this is round 2 of a 3-round art battle. Usually we do these live in person, the couple hundred people in the audience voting, but these are the artists who are in the Southeast region. We've got artists from Georgia, Florida, and an artist who had moved originally from and is now in Ohio. But this is a fantastic group of artists, and from tonight, 4 of these artists will go on. So 2 from this round and 2 from the first round. So your votes from those, we're picking the top 2, and then we're going to invite those 4 for one more final round, which will effectively be the opening performance for the Art Battle San Francisco show, which is next Wednesday night, exactly 1 week from right now.
Amazing. It's gonna be a tough voting session tonight, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I also want to point out we just panned away from it, but Martin had just added some water onto the canvas and just like bringing it with that energy. And speaking of energy,
it's fantastic.
Donice adding these highlights, that gorgeous pop of highlight on the forearm there, is just really bringing this figure into the 3D realm.
This is such a powerful figure already, and we're not even halfway done. I cannot wait to see what he's going to do.
And Kaytee with her signature color chipping technique. I love that she keeps things so kind of compartmentalized. It's a really recognizable style. I would know Kaytee's work anywhere. Yeah.
Really special. And again, this, that sort of that compartmentalization plus this sort of somewhat exaggerated, blocky shape, both in in the suit, but also just in the way that it's drawn. You really feel like this character with the glasses. I don't know. It's you almost know this person.
Yeah, you're definitely getting that attitude expression.
Oh my God! Look
as
at
well,
this.
We're getting
speaking of attitude expression. Wow!
I want to hang out with this girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not when she's angry.
Gloves are
though.
on. Not when she's exactly the gloves. Please keep the gloves on if you're angry.
Yeah. Oh man, the highlights coming in.
So, have you seen a reference? I mean, I presume this is from a reference. It's just so precise, but are we...
I haven't seen a reference. I haven't seen a... Oh, wow. Really nice. Unexpected. I really thought that Martin was going to be sticking with just working on the background and subtle highlights, but now he's bringing in these other colors onto the figure, and I'm digging it.
Really nice.
And such quick movements too. And because Martin created the figure so carefully, he can now afford to be a little bit looser because he's got that framework underneath there.
It's an incredible technique. I hope any of our artists at home watching who don't already have your strategy and you have some talent in sketching, this is a great approach.
Wow, the energy.
I love Donice's work here, and I can't wait to see how developed the face is or is not going to be. Even if he stopped right now, it would be a fantastic piece. But I have a feeling he's going to go all the way, and we're going to see those details.
Yeah, with Donice's work, there are often figures with the face missing or slightly obscured, but then there's also an equal amount of portraits that are fully fleshed out in the face. So we have if I'm
reading the reference right, I think we're going to get a 50-50 split between that. Mm-hmm. It seems that the figure is kind of up and away and maybe with a little bit of squinted eyes, which would fit the sort of energy of the fists and the hands there. So I think we're going to see a 50-50 on that, and that again is a great strategy for an art battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting that Kaytee has brought the blue into the skin of the figure. I wonder whether or not she's going to warm that up or if we're being treated to an entirely monochrome canvas at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that I did just see her pick up a warmer color.
Cool. I really like the purple and the way it interplays. I like that sock is purple. That's cool.
Yeah, and a challenging pose. Wow, more
Oh my
unexpected
God.
stuff from Martin.
This is,
Wow.
he's killing it. Wow.
Guys, you
What
talk
a
about your
painting.
performance painting.
Yeah.
Wow, Martin. This is
Yeah,
so cool.
Great work.
The yellow in the face with the warm red underneath. And the careful application of that lipstick on the figure, and then you're getting all of these shadows
Oh, the
in
lipstick.
the blue.
I didn't even notice that. Nice.
Wow, this is... I've never seen a technique like that. Usually we see people kind of wild out in the beginning with their colors and then try and tame it by adding lines for their figure after. But we're getting the opposite approach with Martin there. And here we are back with Bree. And
I like what Brianne. I like the evolution of this piece. The sea anemone or whatever that is down there is it's a bit abstracted, and I really love it. I love the palette. I love the way that that's treated. This painting has come along really nicely in the last few minutes.
yeah, and you're definitely getting a sense of the sun above the water through her use of that circular gradient surrounding the fish.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. We're at just about 5 minutes remaining. Donice is working furiously here with a very tiny brush. Really great.
If he's got the tiny brush, I think we're just about to see the face execution
exactly.
now.
There you go. Oh, everything's fine. That was my end. Okay, good.
This choice of purple,
Oh, yeah.
too, is amazing. I love this just, like, vibrant violet and the way that it's playing with all of these warm colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's really popping against the skin tone, and then you're getting the complement to purple with those yellow highlights in the skin. Yeah, the pose of this figure is so cool.
It's so good. It's so good. I mean,
You
it's
can
I
hear the
see what's going on
jazz.
now. It's a blues. Yeah, it's exactly. It's a blues musician, a jazz musician, and you know, this is kind of a just got off stage. The intensity is all still there, but in a moment of calm. It's really nice.
I wanna peruse Kaytee's record collection because most of the works that we've seen from her have been pretty musical in nature, and just you can really tell that too with the rhythm of how she's painting. She's just really creating such a sense of movement and joyfulness through her paintings.
Yes.
This piece is
This is
unreal.
such a-
Both of us were just quiet
It
for a
is
second
unreal.
because we're like, whoa.
It's just unreal. It really is. We're only 16 minutes, 27 seconds in, guys. I don't know what the size of this canvas is, but I'm feeling it's actually a little larger than a regular art battle canvas.
Yeah, this looks like
is
an 18
really
by
something.
24 to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. And now we're getting the highlights in white, bringing in even more, shading and depth and the power of the light. Really something.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And now we're getting the refinement on our sweet little Nemo from Bree. And again with the color play of the orange and the purple is really nice.
Mm-hmm. I really like this palette. I like that we can see it there. And now we're getting the outline of the little Nemo guy there. And it's really making it pop off the page.
Oh, and now this, the addition of the turquoise in the hair too, just adding like even more movement. Like every time we come back to this piece by Donice, there's just more movement involved in the figure.
Here comes the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It was hidden there, but I hadn't seen it. And, I knew it had been there for a while, but it sort of popped out to me. But definitely now it's being brought out.
And so cool that we can tell the exact pose of this figure, even though it's so complicated. Like you have the, and how there's so many different points of weight where that weight would be distributed. And that's really difficult to communicate, is how a figure takes up space, especially when it's interacting with an environment. And this figure is taking up space.
Yeah.
This figure has
You'd
so
be
much
hard
presence.
pressed to hang that. You couldn't even hang that near another painting.
Yeah, like yeah, that painting, Martin said, okay, art battle.
Exactly.
And this kind of careful refinement into our fish here. And there's lots of little subtle striations happening in that anemone, as well as in the fins of the fish too. We're seeing
50 seconds remaining or so.
The detail brush there.
Oh man, if anybody's watching and you're getting some Japanese or Chinese when you're trying to vote, I'm sorry about that. It seems we've had a little bit of a malware situation on the site there. We are seeing a lot of votes coming in, so the votes are in. But I know if you're having any frustrations with that, we're going to do our best. What I can tell you is we're going to put a phone number on the screen. And if you want, you can text the word vote to that phone number directly. And then, yeah, let's see here. We're going to get you that phone number. It is 888-205-9419. And what you can do there is text the word vote to this phone number here, and you will be able to vote. There's, you know how it is these days. It's all spammers and hackers, and what are you going to do? But we are going to determine the winners right now. So get in there. We have a couple of, we have quite a few votes in already. So I don't think that we're quite ready to declare the winner, but we would absolutely invite you to vote in any of the ways. Go ahead to artbattle.com/vote. And if you don't see some sort of weird Japanese clothing retailer, then great, go for that. And otherwise, feel free to send a text message to that number that's on your screen right now and send the word vote to that phone number, and you will also be able to register and get in there. What can we say here? Powerful round, amazing round. Morgan, what else do you have to say about this round here?
I gotta say that these guys brought it, and there was a lot of really great movement and directionality concerned with these pieces. When I'm talking about directionality, I'm definitely referencing Kaytee here, and the kind of complicated pose of the figure that were still very easy to understand, and the way that she's knit together all of these compartmentalized pieces of color to communicate this figure. She's done a beautiful job. And again, Kaytee's representing Sarasota and Venice.
I love this painting. I really do. Look at I didn't even appreciate the degree of the sort of the smirk, not quite a smirk, but like, this is the happy character. I think, what I was saying earlier about the satisfaction of getting off stage, and there you go. And this is a really lovely piece. Yeah, and I like the signature Kaytee spot. Yeah, exactly. And look at that tie.
Yeah, so good. And even just the super subtle little red in the lips there, and in the band of the hat, just really marrying everything together.
Fantastic. Great. Well, we are going to look at a couple other paintings here, but we are going to announce the winners in only a few moments. I'd say we've got about 3 or 4 minutes before those winners are announced. So if feel free to say hi in the comments, let us know what you're thinking, and but most importantly, you got to vote and bid. You can bid on these paintings, and we will work with the artists to get the paintings directly to you. So don't hesitate to bid. Click the auction link right in there. It's the same as the voting link, and you can pop in there and see it.
Wow, this piece is just, oh man. I think we've all kind of been stunned by this piece, just not only in its final execution, which is a really, really strong piece, but also in the twists and turns of surprise in terms of technique that we saw from Martin tonight. What was your favorite part of watching this piece evolve, Simon?
I mean, I think the initial, the way that that initial piece, and we weren't sure what was going on, and then the roller and the wipe off with the roller was so satisfying. It really was.
Yeah, and that was just like, oh, that's the beginning. I think we were like 5 minutes in at that point, and that's where that's I think when we knew that we were in for a bit of a wild roller coaster with Martin there.
Oh, really something. Okay, well, Morgan, we don't want to keep the good people waiting, and we have quite a few number of votes in here. I think I'm just going to take a look and make sure, and yeah, so we have something a little over, you might be interested to know, a little over 350 votes in here, so that's well enough to determine, and I think we do. We have our winners from round one, clear winners from round one, clear winners round two. If you're ready, I'm ready. What can we show? We're gonna get their names on the screen there. Oh no, I guess what we're gonna do is get rid of this, and we're gonna put this up, and we're gonna put this up, so that you can all know where these artists are now one step closer to heading to the 2022 U.S. Championships. Those are in Wichita Falls on April the 2nd. Don't miss it. Watch online or join us live in person. We'd be thrilled to have you there. Morgan, I'm looking at the voting, so I will tell you who the winners are. We've got artists from round one, Victoria Mayol. Woo!
Amazing.
And Joan,
well deserved.
And Joan Schnuerch, those two will join artists from round two. So that's two ladies. And in round two, we have got Donice Bloodworth and Martin Karadzhov. Oh my God, I've butchered the name. Morgan, how do you say that?
Martin Karadzhov.
Karadzhov, thanks. Well, there you go. You have Joan, Victoria, Donice, and Martin. They have advanced to the third round in this online art battle competition. And if you guys are watching at home, get painting that painting. We need one more painting from you so that we can share with the voting audience in advance of the San Francisco Championships, which is a live event happening next Wednesday at right about this time, right about 9 o'clock. Actually, slightly later than that, West Coast. But there you go. We've done it, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We're going to leave the auction open for 24 hours. We'll close it at sometime tomorrow around this time. So feel free to keep bidding and take a look. You're welcome to share the link with friends. They can watch the whole broadcast, and still the voting will be open, and the voting and the bidding. The winners have been decided, but for the fun of it, you can still vote. So thanks very much.
Oh, I just want to say the artist name one more time. Please. So once again, moving on to the third and final round, which will take place next Wednesday. From round number one is Joan Schnuerch, Victoria Gomez Mayol, Donice Bloodworth, and Martin Karadzhov. and we'll be able to see them next week, next Wednesday. So tune in, and one of those 4 will be moving on to the U.S. National Championship in person April 2nd, and also that will be streaming online